Okay, so I'm back with another video. So this video is mostly about how to get rid of rust in your car, especially where you keep your foot. Now let me just show you how rusted this van is. So as you can see here, look how deeply rusted now this is. So we are going to get rid of most of it by using these sandpaper. So you might be thinking what are these sandpaper, right? So there are different types of sandpaper, especially the ones that I know is there are four types of sandpaper, right? So you can either call it sandpaper or grit paper or emery. So the four types of sandpaper are, aluminum oxide sandpaper and ceramic sandpaper, then garnet sandpaper, silicon carbide sandpaper. So those are your four sand papers. So the most commonly used for metal and wood is aluminum oxide sandpaper, such as these. Um, so ones that you use for ceramic is completely for a different purpose. It's mostly used for power purposes. So the industrial people usually most use ceramic sandpapers, and the one which is your silicon carbide sandpaper, which is also used for mostly wood surfaces and all that stuff. Carbide sandpaper is used for mainly to sand out the wood, especially if there's any kind of hard surfaces. Now let me explain you what are the grits in every sandpaper. Now for example, you have this is a 150 sandpaper, 150 grit sandpaper, and this is a 320 grit sandpaper, and this is a 80 grit sandpaper. So now what you might be thinking, what is the difference between all 80, 150 and 320 sandpaper, grit sandpaper, right? So in every square centimeter there would be about 80 grit, so that's why it's called as 80 grit sandpaper. Now the same thing goes with 320. So in every square centimeter there are 320 grits, and same thing goes with the 150 sandpaper. So in every square centimeter of this 180, I think so, right? 150 grit sandpaper, you have 150 grit. So that's how you measure. And how do you use it, right? So you start out with the heavy ones, which is your 80 grade, which removes most of the hard surfaces like your rust and all that stuff. You can't just directly sand off your the rust from the paint, right? Sanding, you can't directly take it to the bare metal. So let's say that you're starting out with 80 grit paper. Now you take off all the rust. That won't just remove the rust, that will also take out the paint. Now you'll go down to the bare metal. Now what will happen once you're into the bare metal, you'll have to primer it, so in order for your steel or metal not to get rusted again. So you have to make sure you put in some kind of primer coat first. It can either be layer 1 or base 1, base 2, base 3 of primer coat, and then you slowly go with your base paint, which is your white paint or black paint, whichever the car color is or the bike color is. So you go down to your the base color or base coat 1, 2, 3, based on how dark you want it, and then you go with clear coat. So clear coat will give you the glossy finish. Now if you want to go with one clear coat, then that will become not that too glossy, but it will show some kind of the color out of it. Now let's say you're going with layer 2 or layer 3 of the clear coat. It will look more glossy and it will have a glass finish. That's how you measure the paint. Quickly show you guys how to take out this rust. So start out with your 30 grit. So make sure you, so look, So this is your 80 grit. So make sure you have a piece, where you put in some kind of a block of wood so that you hold it properly. This lid. So I'm just using by hand. So whenever you're sanding, right, you should never sand it, horizontally or vertically. You should always sand it diagonally, either this way or this way, so that you don't, circle on the circle marks on your, paint. I'll just quickly finish it. And this is the after. Okay, there's a way to paint the surface. You'll have to keep the spray can at least 3 centimeters away from the metal, and also never breathe in the paint. Always make sure you cover your face and make sure you shake it at least for 30 seconds before you start. Make it. See, can you see that oxidization? It's because of moisture. So once water gets in, the paint will look like this. So it won't stick on to the metal. So we'll go over this side. You have to spray the paint this way or horizontally. So and then this is the after paint. Not bad. Decent job.